Learn how to learn English.
You are in a conversation in English, and suddenly the other person stops talking. They look at you. They are waiting, and your mind goes completely blank. Nothing. Not one word, not one sentence, just silence. And that silence feels like it lasts forever. That moment is what we are fixing today, right now. Let's go.
Welcome to Mr. Azan English School. I am Emma.
And I am Alex, and today we are talking about something that every English learner has experienced, every single one. That terrifying moment when the conversation stops and your mind goes completely blank. If you have felt that, stay right here, because today we fix it together.
Before we dive in, hit like, hit subscribe, and share this with one friend who needs it. That's all. Done? Perfect. Now, let's talk about silence.
Emma, can I be honest about something?
Always.
When I first started speaking English, not teaching it, actually speaking it, I was terrified of silence. Absolutely terrified. Because in my head, silence meant failure. Silence meant I am not good enough. Silence meant everyone can see that I don't really know this language.
That feeling is so real, and so many learners feel exactly that. The moment the conversation pauses, the heart starts beating fast, the face goes red, the mind goes empty, and the panic? The panic makes everything worse.
But here's the truth, and I want everyone to really hear this. When you go silent in a conversation, you are not failing the conversation. You just don't have the right bridge yet. A bridge. That is what today is about. The phrases, the tools, the techniques that take you from the silence across the gap and back into the conversation. Smoothly, naturally, confidently.
And here is something even more important. Native English speakers, people who have spoken English their whole lives, they also go silent sometimes. They also lose their train of thought. They also need a moment. The difference is, they have the bridges. They know what to say in that moment. And after today, so will you.
So stop trying to translate every word in your head while your partner stares at you in silence. Stop panicking. Start bridging. That is the shift, from panic to bridge. Let's build those bridges right now.
First, let's understand something. Not all silences are the same. There are 3 types of silence that happen in English conversations, and each one needs a slightly different response.
Type 1. The thinking silence. This is when you heard the question, you understood it, but you need a moment to think of your answer. Your brain is working. It just needs a few extra seconds.
Type 2. The lost silence. This is when you were speaking and suddenly, mid-sentence, you forgot what you were saying. Your train of thought completely left the station.
Left the station and did not come back. I know this one personally. Very personally.
And type 3, the confused silence. This is when someone said something to you and you did not fully understand it, but you did not want to say, "Sorry, what?" again, because you already asked once or twice, and you feel embarrassed to ask again.
3 types: thinking, lost, confused. And for each one, we have specific, natural, beautiful phrases that buy you time, keep the conversation moving, and make you sound confident, even when you are not feeling confident inside. That is the skill. That is what we are learning today.
Okay, let's get into the actual tools, the phrases, the bridges. Strategy 1, filler phrases. These are short, natural expressions that every fluent English speaker uses to buy themselves a moment to think. They are not cheating. They are not fake. They are completely normal English.
The first one, and the most useful one, That's a great question. Or, that's an interesting question.
Someone asks you something in English. You need a moment. You say, "That's a great question." And immediately, two things happen. One, the other person feels good. They feel like they asked something smart. Two, you just bought yourself 3 to 5 seconds of thinking time without any awkwardness, without any silence.
And it sounds so natural. That's a great question. Let me think about that for a moment. That one sentence, it is a complete bridge. From the silence, right back into the conversation.
The second filler phrase, "Let me think about that," or "Give me a moment to think," or the shorter version, let me see."
Okay, let's get into the actual tools. The phrases, the bridges. Strategy 1. Filler phrases. These are short, natural expressions that every fluent English speaker uses to buy themselves a moment to think. They are not cheating. They are not fake. They are completely normal English.
The first one, and the most useful one, "That's a great question," or "That's an interesting question."
Someone asks you something in English. You need a moment. You say, "That's a great question." And immediately, two things happen. One, the other person feels good. They feel like they asked something smart. Two, you just bought yourself 3 to 5 seconds of thinking time, without any awkwardness, without any silence.
And it sounds so natural. "That's a great question. Let me think about that for a moment." That one sentence, it is a complete bridge. From the silence, right back into the conversation.
The second filler phrase, "Let me think about that," or "Give me a moment to think," or the shorter version, let me see."
Hmm, let me see. Yes, I think that pause, that let me see. It does not sound like panic. It sounds like a person who is thinking carefully, who takes their words seriously. That is actually impressive, not weak. Impressive.
Yes, and here is the most important thing about filler phrases, the secret. Emma, tell them the secret.
The secret is, you must say the filler phrase with confidence, not quietly, not nervously, with a calm, steady voice. Because the filler phrase is not the problem. The voice is the message. If you say, "Let me think," like this, let me think, that sounds panicked. But if you say, "Let me think about that for a moment," that sounds like a person completely in control.
Same words, completely different impression. Voice is everything. Practice your filler phrases out loud with a calm, steady voice until they feel completely natural. Same words, completely different impression. Voice is everything. Practice your filler phrases out loud with a calm, steady voice until they feel completely natural.
More filler phrases you can use. That's a good point. Well, actually, I would say, I mean, to be honest, all of these are completely natural. All of them buy you time. All of them keep the conversation flowing.
Write these down right now. That's a great question. Let me think about that. Let me see. To be honest, actually, I would say, these are your first bridges. Use them this week. Now, strategy 2, and this one is more advanced, more powerful, rhythmic stall tactics. These are techniques that don't just buy time, they actually make the conversation feel more natural, more engaged, not less.
Okay, explain this, Alex, because this sounds very interesting.
Okay, a rhythmic stall tactic is when you do not just pause, you respond to the silence with a sound, a phrase, or a question that keeps the social rhythm going, like music. In music, if the drummer stops suddenly, it feels wrong. But if the drummer does a fill, a bridge, the music keeps flowing. Language is the same. You are the drummer, and these tactics are your fills.
Oh, I love that analogy. The drummer.
Tactic 1. The echo. When someone finishes speaking and you need a moment, you repeat the last word or phrase they said in a thoughtful tone. For example, someone says, "What do you think about working from home?" And you say, "Working from home. That's a great question. I think."
The echo. So simple, so clever. You are not saying anything new. You are just repeating, slightly, what they said. And it sounds like you are processing, like you are thinking deeply, which you are.
Exactly. Because you are thinking. The echo just makes the thinking sound intentional, not panicked, intentional.
Tactic 2. The clarifying question. When you need more time, or when you are slightly confused, instead of going silent, you ask a small clarifying question. For example, could you tell me a little more about that? Or, what do you mean exactly? Or, are you talking about?
The clarifying question is genius because it does three things at once. 1. It buys you time. 2. It makes you look engaged and interested. 3. It gives you more information to help you answer. You win on every level.
3 wins from 1 sentence. That is efficiency.
And tactic 3, my personal favorite, the honest bridge. This is when you acknowledge the pause directly, without shame, without apology, just honestly. For example, "I want to give you a proper answer. Let me just gather my thoughts for a second." Or, "That's something I feel strongly about. I just want to make sure I say it right."
Oh, that one is beautiful because it is completely honest. And honesty, in any language, builds trust immediately. When you say, I want to give you a proper answer, the other person thinks, this person takes this conversation seriously. This person respects me. And suddenly, the pause becomes a compliment.
Silence in English is not a mistake. It is a natural linguistic tool that you have not learned to use yet. And now, you are learning. The honest bridge turns the pause into something controlled, something professional, something powerful.
Okay, practice time. Alex and I are going to have a real conversation, a situation where silences happen naturally. And we are going to use the techniques we just learned live, so you can hear how they sound in a real conversation. Ready, Alex?
Born ready.
Okay, Alex. Imagine we just met at an event. I am going to ask you questions, and you use the techniques. Let's go. So, Alex, what do you do for work?
I am an English teacher. I teach at, well, I work online mostly now. I teach at Mr. Azan English School.
Oh, interesting. And what made you choose teaching?
What made me choose teaching? Hmm, let me think about that. I think, to be honest, I chose it because I remembered how hard it was for me to learn English, and I wanted to make it easier for someone else.
That is a beautiful answer. And everyone, did you hear what he did? He echoed the question first. What made me choose teaching? Then, let me think about that. A filler phrase. Then, a comfortable pause. And then, a full, beautiful answer. That whole sequence took about 8 seconds. and it sounded completely natural. Not panicked, not awkward, natural.
8 seconds felt like forever to me in that moment. But to you, listening, it sounded like a normal conversation. That is the truth about silences. They feel much longer to you than they feel to the other person. Always. Every time.
Shall we do one more?
Yes, one more. Give me a hard one.
Okay, hard one. Alex, what is the biggest challenge in your life right now?
Oh, that is a really personal question. I want to give you a proper answer. Let me just gather my thoughts for a second. I think, right now, the biggest challenge is balance. Balancing work and personal time. It is something I'm still learning.
Perfect. Did you hear that? I want to give you a proper answer. Let me just gather my thoughts. The honest bridge, and then a real, genuine answer. No panic, no rushing, just a person who speaks with intention.
Practice this at home. Ask yourself a question, out loud, then use one of the techniques. Echo, filler phrase, clarifying question, honest bridge, and answer. Do this every day, even 5 minutes. Your confidence will grow faster than you think.
Now, the hardest situation. The one that feels most embarrassing. You are speaking, mid-sentence, and suddenly, completely, you forget what you were saying. The train of thought, gone. What do you do?
You do not panic. You do not go silent and stare. You use one of these 3 rescue phrases. Rescue phrase 1. Sorry, where was I? Natural, common, native speakers say it all the time. Sorry, where was I? Oh yes, I was saying,
Rescue phrase 2. I lost my train of thought for a second, but what I was trying to say was honest, clear, and it works perfectly.
and rescue phrase 3 for when you genuinely cannot remember. You know what? Let me come back to that. First, I want to say, and you move the conversation forward. You redirect. The other person will not even notice that you forgot. They will just follow you to the next point.
Because here's the truth. People are not listening for your mistakes. People are listening for your meaning, for your message, for the feeling behind your words. If your meaning is clear, if your warmth is genuine, a small silence, a forgotten sentence, it disappears. Nobody remembers it. They remember how you made them feel.
And that is the most important English lesson of this whole episode. People remember how you made them feel, not whether your grammar was perfect, not whether you paused for 5 seconds, not whether you said once. They remember, did this person connect with me? Did they try? Did they care? And the answer, for all of you listening, is always yes. You try, you care, and that is more than enough.
Okay, let's bring it all together. Your complete silence toolkit. Write these down, save them, use them.
Filler phrases to buy time. That's a great question. Let me think about that. Let me see. To be honest, actually, I would say, well,
Rhythmic stall tactics to keep the flow. The echo. Repeat the last few words thoughtfully. The clarifying question. Could you tell me a little more? What do you mean exactly? The honest bridge. I want to give you a proper answer. Let me just gather my thoughts.
rescue phrases. When you lose your train of thought. Sorry, where was I? I lost my train of thought, but what I was saying was, let me come back to that. First, I want to say,
That is your complete toolkit. 15 phrases, 3 strategies, all natural, all real, all powerful. And they all do the same thing. They turn the silence from your enemy into your tool.
And I want to say one more thing before we close. Silence in English is not a sign that you are bad at English. It is a sign that you are thinking, that you are processing, that you are a human being, not a machine. And human beings, all of them, in every language, need a moment sometimes. The goal is not to speak without stopping. The goal is to speak with intention. And now, you have the tools to do exactly that.
Every person listening today, you are not behind. You are not broken. You are not bad at English. You are learning. And learning takes time and bravery. And you are being very brave right now by listening, by trying, by being here. We see that. We honor that. And we are so proud of you.
Do not let the silence scare you anymore. Let it breathe. Fill it with one of your bridges and keep going. Always keep going.
Question of the day! Go to the comments and tell us, what do you do when you go silent in English? What is your biggest fear in English conversations? Write in English, 1 or 2 sentences. We read every single comment, every one.
And please, subscribe to Mr. Razan English School. Like this video if it helped you today. Share it with one person who needs these tools right now. One share changes someone's English journey.
We will be back very soon with another lesson built just for you. Until then, use your bridges. Fill the silence with confidence. And remember, you are not failing. You are learning. And learning is beautiful.
Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, Emma. Keep bridging. Keep talking. Keep shining.
Goodbye, Alex. Bye-bye, everyone. You are doing wonderfully. Bye.